I've always had my suspicions about like the validity of transplant. I've always said that I've had a suspicion that transplant centers just pick whoever they want. And I always got a lot of pushback from people of like, no. They follow the transplant list. It's all based off of blood type. That's what it is. That's what it is. And some part of me always knew that was BS. And this article right here just confirms it. Now, I've been noticing that I maintain retention more with shorter videos. So this is going to be a series of videos of me talking about this. And I'm going to keep talking about it because now I have concrete evidence that this is true. So the New York Times did an article about how the sickest patients on the transplant list are skipped over in favor for healthier, predominantly white, Asian, and college graduate students. Now, I'm not going to get into the minutia of all of this stuff right now, but this is a real thing. This is a real thing that's happening, and we need to be talking about this, especially if you're on the transplant list, because there's a lot of people on the transplant list right now that believe that their wait is going to be a lot of minorities that believe that their wait time on the transplant list is going to be rewarded by a transplant at the end of this. And a lot of them don't realize that there's no transplant coming. Like, it's not happening. They have no intention on giving you a transplant. And I understand how hopeless that sounds, but that's the reality of the thing. Right? OPTN had they have public comments open, so people, just regular people, can make comments on their policies and their action agenda and things that they're going to be doing. And one of the things I said was being on the transplant list, knowing that I was going to be on the transplant list, scared me to death because I am a minority. You know, and historically, minorities have not gotten a fair shake when it comes to stuff like this, especially in the medical field. I was more scared of being on a transplant list than I was training for dialysis, because I knew that I was going to run into a disparity amongst that system. And come to find out, all of my concerns, all my fears have been validated. And I've been saying that for years. Transplant centers operate with complete autonomy. They do whatever they want. Yeah, I'm sure that there's certain rules and regulations that they have to follow in order to keep their licenses and keep getting paid. But other than that, outside of that, they bend and break the rules, and they quietly do things behind closed doors that shaft certain patients and benefits other patients. And it's not fair, and it's not right. And this article right here pretty much killed any... Now, I'm not a hopeful person. Never have been. And I probably never will be. But this... I base my life on guarantees. Right? Not hoping and wishing these things are going to happen. But this right here pretty much just solidified it. Of like... Okay, I may never get this thing. Like, I may never get a transplant. Right? And this is just speculation on my part. This is just me just theorizing. But I think UC Davis... Now, I live in Sacramento, California. And UC Davis is a transplant center that's not even 20 minutes away from me. Right? 25 minutes away. Right? I could take a bus and get there. I believe that they practice this. I believe that they skip over the people that they don't want to have it. And I believe that they give the kidneys to people who they believe have value in society and have a future. Again, all things that I've said before in previous videos.